Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. The bold and the beautiful spoilers. Bitter Brooke Logan falls off the wagon. The bold and the beautiful spoilers reveal heartbreak ahead for Brooke Logan, Catherine Kelly Lang, on the CBS soap. Taylor Hayes, Rebecca Budig, return has caused chaos in her relationship with Ridge Forrester, Thorsten Kaye, and it's only going to get worse. Here's what's happening next on Bold and Beautiful spoilers ahead. If there was a trophy for playing it cool, it would have Brooke Logan's name on it. Since Taylor came back to Los Angeles, Brooke has watched her flirt with Ridge and trusted he would remain loyal to her. Brooke didn't anticipate a deadly broken heart syndrome diagnosis. Since Taylor's super-secret trip to the hospital, Brooke has noticed a change in Ridge and can tell he is hiding something. B&B spoilers say Brooke Logan will come to the obvious conclusion that Ridge is cheating on her with his ex-wife Taylor. It's no secret Taylor is still in love with him, and since learning she was sick, Ridge hasn't left her side. The only thing is, Taylor has sworn him to secrecy. If Ridge doesn't tell Brooke what is really going on, no one can blame her for thinking he is getting ready to leave her and run off with Taylor. It wouldn't be the first time. Bold and the beautiful viewers have watched Brooke's battle with sobriety over the years, and it wasn't too long ago she fell off the wagon and got caught up in a mess with Deacon Sharp, seeing Kanan. Brooke's battle with the bottle seems to coincide with her tumultuous love life. Rumor has it, Brooke Logan will end up drowning her sorrows and begin drinking again. That always makes for some interesting daytime television. In the glitzy world of Los Angeles, where fashion meets family feuds, Brooke Logan had always been the queen who could seemingly conquer any obstacle thrown her way. But recently, things had spiraled out of control. Years of heartbreak, betrayal, and deception had taken their toll on her. For once, Brooke found herself teetering on the edge, the ground beneath her threatening to crumble completely. The Brooke Logan who had fought so hard to stay strong, to stay sober, was losing the battle. The fallout from her most recent clash with Ridge Forrester had shattered her fragile heart into a million pieces. Ridge had once again chosen Taylor Hayes, his on-again, off-again love, leaving Brooke out in the cold. Despite all her efforts to fight for him, to prove her love and loyalty, Ridge couldn't ignore the past. Brooke's mistakes loomed large, no matter how many times she tried to make amends, and this time it seemed permanent. Ridge and Taylor's reunion had triggered an old wound deep within Brooke's soul. Memories of her long struggle with alcohol flooded back. She had worked so hard to stay sober for her family, especially for her children, Hope and RJ. But now, all she could think about was how much she had lost, how much she had sacrificed, and how little she had gained in return. It all started innocently enough. Brooke, after a sleepless night filled with tears and regret, found herself pacing the living room of her opulent mansion. The fireplace crackled, casting flickering shadows on the walls, while a glass of sparkling water sat untouched on the coffee table. She had tried, oh how she had tried, to fight the urge gnawing at her, but the pain was unbearable. The silence of the house only amplified her torment. Suddenly, her eyes landed on the small cabinet tucked away in the corner of the room. It had been months, years, even, since she had dared to open it. Brooke felt a pang of guilt as she hesitated, but the ache in her heart overwhelmed her resolve. Her hands trembled as she reached for the door, opening it slowly, revealing the bottles of alcohol she had hidden away during her weakest moments. It was her secret stash, meant for emergencies, for moments when she thought she couldn't survive another heartbreak. And now, this was one of those moments. "I just need one drink," Brooke whispered to herself, the words trembling on her lips. "Just to take the edge off." She poured a small glass of whiskey, her reflection in the golden liquid haunting her. Memories of the damage she had caused during her drinking days, fights with Ridge, reckless decisions, embarrassing public outbursts, flashed through her mind. But the pull was too strong. She closed her eyes, lifted the glass to her lips, and downed it in one gulp. The familiar burn coursed through her, offering temporary relief, but it wasn't enough. One drink led to two, and then to three, and before Brooke knew it, she was lost in the haze of alcohol. The world seemed to slow down around her as the pain numbed. The sorrow that had weighed her down was still there, but at least now she didn't have to feel it as sharply. Meanwhile, across town, Hope Logan had noticed something off with her mother. Brooke had been distant for days, avoiding calls and skipping family dinners. Hope's worries had been growing, and after receiving another unanswered message, she decided to pay a surprise visit. When Hope arrived at Brooke's house, she immediately sensed that something was wrong. The door was slightly ajar, and the house, usually immaculate, seemed disheveled. Her heart pounded in her chest as she stepped inside, calling for her mother. No answer. She found Brooke slumped on the couch, a nearly empty bottle of whiskey on the table beside her. "Mom?" Hope's voice trembled as she rushed over to Brooke's side. The sight of her mother in such a state sent a shockwave of fear through her. Brooke, groggy and disoriented, tried to sit up but stumbled. "Hope, I'm fine. Just a little drink." Hope's eyes filled with tears as she knelt in front of her mother. "No, Mom, you're not fine. You've fallen off the wagon. Why didn't you tell me? Why didn't you ask for help?" Brooke's head hung low, shame coursing through her. I didn't want to burden you. I didn't want you to see me like this. Not again." Hope's heart ached for her mother. "Mom, you're not a burden. You're my mom, and I love you. We can get through this together, but you need to stop this right now." Brooke shook her head, tears streaming down her face. "I've lost everything, Hope. Ridge, he's gone. He's with Taylor. I tried so hard, but it's never enough. I'm never enough." Hope's hands tightened around her mother's. "You are enough, Mom. Ridge doesn't define your worth. You've overcome so much, and you can beat this too. Please, let me help you." As the gravity of her actions hit her, Brooke sobbed uncontrollably. The alcohol had dulled the pain, but now, with Hope's words cutting through the fog, she felt the full weight of her choices. She had promised herself and her family that she would never let this happen again, but here she was, trapped in the same destructive cycle. Just then, the door swung open, and Bill Spencer stepped inside. He had come to check on Brooke after hearing whispers about her downward spiral. One look at the scene before him, and his heart sank. "Brooke," Bill's voice was low and filled with concern as he walked toward her. He had always cared for Brooke, despite their tumultuous history, and seeing her like this pained him deeply. Brooke looked up, her eyes red and glassy. "Bill, I've made such a mess of everything." Bill crouched down beside her. "You haven't lost everything, Brooke. You've still got people who care about you, people who want to see you get better. But you have to fight." Brooke sniffled, her breath shaky. "I don't know if I can." "You can," Bill said firmly. "You're Brooke Logan. You've survived worse, and you'll survive this too." With Hope on one side and Bill on the other, Brooke realized that she wasn't alone in this battle. She had people who loved her, people who believed in her, even when she couldn't believe in herself.